The Memphis Grizzlies are one of the best young teams in the NBA. Their incumbent superstar, Ja Morant, is only 23 years old. Same with the favorite to win Defensive Player of the Year this season, Jaren Jackson Jr. And Morant's sharpshooting backcourt mate, Desmond Bane, is only 24. In fact, the Grizzlies only have 3 players over the age of 26 on their roster. But nevertheless, even at such a young stage, their core trio has already become championship contenders. And this season, they have a genuine chance to win it all. With the trade deadline around the corner and the Grizzlies loaded with prospects and draft capital, they can make a move that would cement them as the favorites in the Western Conference. So, what should they do? Let's get things right off the top. The Grizzlies don't need to make a trade. Again, the core trio of Morant, Bane, and Jackson are all super young, still developing, and aren't even in their primes yet. They round out their core with solid rotation players like Dillon Brooks, Steven Adams, Tyus Jones, Brandon Clark, and head coach Taylor Jenkins uses an array of younger players like Santi Aldama, Zaire Williams, and David Roddy to keep things fresh. In fact, that's probably one quality that is unique to the Grizzlies. They find talent in the draft and immediately throw them into the fire to see how they can contribute. It's for that reason that Aldama and Williams are both intriguing prospects to trade for, because they both have high upsides, but also have shown that at the very least, they can be contributors to a playoff team. And the end result, despite all this young talent still working to figure themselves out, is a highly dangerous team in the Western Conference. As of this time of writing, the Grizzlies are second in the West at 31-17. They have the number 1 defense in the league, thanks in large part to Jackson, who has been a terror on the end as a multi-purpose backline defender. But also because between Brooks, Clark, and Adams, the Grizzlies also have other solid defenders to pair with Bane and Morant, who are both still work in progresses on that end. Morant and Bane, however, are a huge part of the Grizzlies' 10th ranked offense. Morant's ridiculous burst, coupled with his athleticism and jaw-dropping finishing ability, makes the Grizzlies a nightmare to guard in transition, where they're the 4th most efficient team in the league. Add in Bane's marksman-like shooting, and the Grizzlies are one tough team to defend. That's not to say this team is flawless. They still struggle to score in the half-court, ranking 19th in half-court efficiency. They don't take an abundance of threes, ranking 19th in attempts and efficiency, and because of that, they lose the math battle against trigger-happy opponents on some nights. That's why the Warriors are such a tough matchup for them. And maybe more importantly, Morant and Jackson aren't necessarily the most durable players in the league, so injuries can always come and bite them. On top of that, Brooks is up for a contract extension this summer, as is Desmond Bane. And with Morant and Jackson already locked up until 2026 and beyond, money will eventually start getting tight, making it even harder to improve this roster when all of those guys are on sizable contracts. That's why this trade deadline is an intriguing one in Memphis. Theoretically, the Grizzlies can continue to kick the can down the road. A really shiny and impressive can, I might add, hoping that they have enough to win it now or at some point in the near future. And as they have for the last few years, they can continue rotating young players on rookie deals onto the team, hoping that they can continue to contribute at a high level. Or they can move some of those young pieces right now in order to add a 4th player next to their developing trio and give themselves an even better chance to win it this season. So, who could they get? The first player that comes to mind is Raptors forward OG Anunoby. Anunoby is one of the premier wing defenders in the league, who probably would also be in consideration for the Defensive Player of the Year trophy if the Raptors were only winning more games. He's a reliable 3-point shooter that would only make their number 1 ranked defense even more formidable. Plus, Anunoby has another year left on his deal after this season, so you have a couple of times you can try and win with this core. But the Raptors aren't just going to give up Anunoby. Reportedly, Toronto is looking for 2 prospects plus picks in exchange for one of their top talents. A Grizzlies package that might incentivize Toronto to move Anunoby would have to be something that includes Danny Green's expiring contract as a way to match salaries, plus Zaire Williams and Aldama and the Warriors' 2024 first-round draft pick. But let's say that's too much of a price to pay for the Grizzlies. Maybe they don't want to go all in like that. A good second option also comes from the Raptors in the form of Gary Trent Jr. Trent isn't the defender Anunoby is, but he's a potent scorer and shooter who could also give the Grizzlies that extra punch their half-court offense needs. Trent, however, is up for a pay raise this summer, and unless the Grizzlies are looking to pay him and Brooks, it'd be a rental. Trent could probably be had for Green's contract, the Grizzlies' 2023 first-round pick, or the Warriors' 2024 pick, and one of Memphis's newer prospects like Jake LaRavia. Okay, but how about some other options outside of Raptors, huh? If the Wizards somehow decide they'd like to move off Kyle Kuzma, he would be a perfect fit to help this team win now, as a good team defender, scorer, and rebounder. But the Wizards just traded Rui Hachimura to ensure that they keep Kuzma, who's a free agent this summer, so that seems unlikely. Then there's Pacers sharpshooter Buddy Hield, or Blazers forward Josh Hart, or even a reunion with former Grizzly and teammate of Ja Morant, Jay Crowder. Either way, whether it's a big splash like trading for Anunoby, or making a smaller move to get Trent, Hield, or any other wing that could help them, the Grizzlies are primed to make some kind of addition in the next couple of weeks. Whether they actually do is to be determined, but whether they should seems like a no-brainer. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, hit that subscribe button and follow us on social media.